Hello everyone. Hello. I was talking without unmuting it. So I set up the desk cam. We'll just have to see what this is like. It's pretty last minute. The desk cam is may run out of battery. But 28mm hobby stream. So this time, rather than me just waffling, you can actually see what I'm up to. Which I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I'm going to show you one thing. So I'm back in. In fact, let's just make sure this is working properly before I'm going on too much. Oh, it's working. Yep, that's fine. That is fine. So, last stream I was talking about just some things I'd purchased, which was some Sash and Sabre, 28mm, obviously American Civil War, and this is the 14th Brooklyn. So, I don't know. I wonder if I can. Ooh. So here we go. We've got some 14th Brooklyn. So there's marching poses. We've got two flag bearers. Right there. Two flag bearers, an officer, a bugler, and then the rest are just marching poses. So I literally glued them down last night, I think. So I haven't played around with them too much. There's probably a few things I need to sort out, like unbending the guns, the rifles, should I say. But yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, the 14th Brooklyn are a Zouave unit. And they are they're nice looking. They're just pretty different. They're at Gettysburg, which wasn't the only battle of the American Civil War, obviously. However, I've got like a little mini project at the moment, which is to do with Gettysburg. So, which is the First Corps at Gettysburg. So yeah. These guys are obviously 1st Division of 1st Corps. They're in the same division as the Iron Brigade. Anyone's seen Gettysburg, obviously when Reynolds gets shot on the first day. A lovely scene of the 14th Brooklyn rallying around their fallen general. So yeah, I feel like it's just another great unit to have. Obviously, they're also not like traditionally Zouave wearing uniform. They've got a bit different. They've got sort of trousers as well as the sort of Zouave jacket, so they're a bit different. Sorry, I'm trying to look at this whilst talking just to make sure there's no bits that need. They're nice. They are nice. Okay, right. So, but they're not important tonight. They are not important. I've got a lot I could be getting on with, and I'm not sure what I want to do yet. Part of me thinks just doing a bit of painting. That's what I'm half thinking. Or I've got a load of stuff that needs basing. So, painting wise, I've got the leftover of my Iron Brigade. I've got about 2 regiments of Iron Brigade to paint. Or I've got, I think, 2 or 3 regiments of Union. Let's do this. There you go. I've got 2 Union regiments as well. I could paint up. Do I just do a massive batch paint? I don't know. And to top it all, well, that's the Union essentially. I've got a load of Confederates I can paint as well. I might just go with the Iron Brigade, just because it's something I want to. It's a project I really need to finish. I've done painted up 3 Iron Brigade regiments. I've just got 2 left, so I'm over halfway there. The flags as well discoloured, which was really frustrating. So I got some G&B flags, or flags of war, and having them in the loft somehow they discoloured, almost like sun bleached. And I can't bring myself to spend another 12 quid on flags for 3 of these, so I might try paint them. They're not terrible, the flags aren't terrible. I might see if I can run a paintbrush over it and just touch up the colouring, and then maybe we'll see. Also, my first corps flags I bought, they're the first division is all discoloured as well somehow. I'll get the flags out in a second, I'll show you. But it's just, yeah, really frustrating. I've got the I'm gonna have to do this, I think. I've noticed that the chat box isn't working quite right, so I'm gonna have to do it an old-fashioned way. So there we go. Let's go. Ah, it's Thyromar. Hey, Thyromar. Why is my chat box not here? And how do I get it? Ah, there we go. We've sorted it. There we go. We've done it. He says. So, here's what we've got. We've got... Oh, maybe I've got 4 Union regiments, so let's just get the Iron Brigade out. I've, I don't know if people can tell, I've painted them, I've primed them blue, which is obviously the base colour I want them to be, so in theory that's saving me time by priming them blue. We'll see. Obviously that's assuming I've done a good enough job priming them blue, which I haven't, which is a shame. So I'm probably going to have to just quickly hit them with a... Yeah, we'll see. Depends how lazy I want to be. Oh, casualty already. Where is that? That's the only thing I noticed with this 3D print and stuff. Obviously these miniatures are 3D printed. These Iron Brigade models of mine. They are pretty fragile. Maybe it's just the resin, I don't know. Different types of resin. But these are like pretty durable, but when they crack, they shatter. You know. Which is a shame. Yeah, why is the chat box not showing? Hey Mark, if you're still about. I've got X Defiant on download currently. And it was play X Defiant or do this, and I need to do some hobbying, so this is where we're at. you just stay there. Right. So, I'm not at all prepared. Summer Go finished recently. See if I can zoom in. Zip. Which is an artillery piece. Ready to be based. Yeah, this is just an artillery piece I actually got off eBay. I think it's Renegade. They are. There's no point probably comparing it to. Let me compare it to a Perry miniature. These are all crouched. There you go. I did a really bad job of showing this, but quite a bit bigger than the Perrys, but I don't think that will really matter. So yeah, but they just need to be based. So yeah, I'll either do some painting or I'll see how I get on with the painting. I think just because I've got a load of basing to do as well, and we could always do a bit of basing. I'm not really prepared at all. I haven't got anything set up. I've not got anything set up. Like a zebra. My Discord is pinging. I think we'll hit it with a oh yeah, what's this? Oh yeah, so I bought some flags from a company on eBay, and it's just like sort of a generic Pennsylvania Reserve sort of regiments, because the Pennsylvania Reserves or Pennsylvania regiments had like a different stars and bars. I'll show you now. I'm going to try use this zoom as much as I can. So different Pennsylvania regiments had these. See what's going on here? Well, they've got like these different stars and bars, where they've got like a little eagle amongst the stars. Just a bit different. I noticed it for like, so I don't know if you can see there. Like there's little like it's like the unicorn and the horse symbol. Anyway, a bit like something like this side. A bit like something like that. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't want to use just standard stars and bars. I wanted to go for I don't know, try to be a bit historically accurate. But I noticed, I think it was Flags of War maybe, they only sort of have certain regiments, and I wanted a generic regiment. So I but then I bumbled sort of bumbled onto them on eBay. So I bought them. They're basically sticky on the back, so you can fold it in half and it sticks itself fine. But it wants to be flat. It's quite a thick material and it's textured and it wants to be flat. So I tried to do the trick of like sticking it to itself and curling it up to add a bit of motion to it, and it just didn't work. So, which was a shame. I need to get water as well. I should have planned better. Yeah, I tried to get a bit of motion in the flags and it just didn't work. So I think for next time I'll maybe put a bit of paper in between the sticky back, so I can get a bit of sheet of paper and then use the prick stick like I normally do. And I reckon that might solve the issue. Right. So, first thing I'm going to do is... So, yeah. This is my... Let me zoom in. It's annoying. My the stream camera is like a little bit smaller than... Whoa! Right. These are my Studio Historia 3D prints of the Iron Brigade. So these guys just marching. So I've got marching, and then I've got double quick. And these will make up my last last of the Iron Brigade. So obviously I've primed them blue. I'm just going to hit them with those sort of sky blue trousers. So I've kind of gone sort of mid to, you know, at least Gettysburg with these. They originally started off with these sort of like blue trousers. That's the problem with the Iron Brigade is they've got so much choice on their uniforms. Like they had such a varied uniform as the years went by. So early years, when they officially became, oh well, they're known as the Western Brigade. Before they became the Iron Brigade, they're the Western Brigade. And yeah, they had sort of the classic long coats, like the dress coats with dark blue trousers. Because I think when the war started, the US regulation was these dark blue trousers, which is the sort of same colour as their tops. They're like sack coats or frock coats, whatever. And then as the war went on, the sky blue, I think it was, I want to either say 1861 or 1862, the sky blue trousers became standard issue. So the dark blues tend to get phased out. So when you, at the start of the war as well, like the uniforms sort of wore out. That's where you kind of saw the like the white gaiters as well on the boots, and they even had white dress gloves. But yeah, they didn't really last for long. So you do have like lots of options in different manufacturers for the Iron Brigade, and each manufacturer's done a different sort of adaptation of the uniform. Studio Historia going for sort of a later war, because even I think a lot of the black hats would have, the sculpts from Studio Historia are quite uniform, whereas again I think you would have lost that uniformity as the war went on, even getting to Gettysburg. And I've painted, so I've styled my 24th Michigan, which is a late addition to the Iron Brigade. I've styled them as sort of long frock coats and like black Harley hats, you know, or dress hats, which probably wasn't true. They weren't in the black hats straight away. I don't think they would have been at Gettysburg. And then you kind of consider the Iron Brigade was sort of done after Gettysburg. It suffered heavily. And like I said before, before it was the Iron Brigade, it was the Western Brigade, you know, gaining the name Iron Brigade at Stone Mountain, the Battle of Stone Mountain, yeah. So yeah, they were an all Western Brigade, obviously Michigan, Indiana, and Wisconsin. And then after Gettysburg, I think a couple of weeks after Gettysburg, Pennsylvania Regiment goes and joins them, because they were so heavily depleted after the battle that a Pennsylvania Regiment joined the brigade. So technically the Iron Brigade, or the Western Iron Brigade, ceased to exist. And then I think the chaps of the 2nd Wisconsin, have I got this right? 2nd, 6th and 7th, I don't know. I think the 2nd Wisconsin went and joined the 6th near the end of the war. They formed a couple of companies of the 6th near the end. So yeah, you kind of I think they stopped functioning as a serious unit after Gettysburg just because they were so smashed. They were still about, but Gettysburg, I don't know. I want to throw a number around of them having, say, 1,000 men at Gettysburg. Could be too low, could be too high. I reckon it is around that, if not a bit more. I'm pretty sure the 24th Michigan either had 700 or maybe 500 men at Gettysburg. So they were quite big. And then the other units probably had, say, a couple of hundred men in the regiment at the time. So yeah, right. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, yeah, I've massively digressed. So I'm basing them sort of Gettysburg, kind of. 24th Michigan, I've taken the liberty to dress them as the Iron Brigade when they would have probably not worn this sort of dress at Gettysburg, but they'd proven themselves by Gettysburg, so why not let them wear the dress? I've seen people talk about it before where they might give the sort of the 24th Michigan, they might give them more keppies rather than the black hats, which is a good way of doing it because I imagine they would have phased in the uniform, but also, I think maybe it was a battle before Gettysburg, or maybe it was Gettysburg. Was it the second battle of Second Bull Run? I can't remember what their first battle was at with the Western Brigade or the Iron Brigade, but they felt like they really had to prove something because you had is it the 6th Wisconsin who was at Bull Run. So you had a lot of these boys who were fighting for a long old time. I can't exactly remember when the 24th Michigan joined the war, but yeah. They were trying to prove a point. Trying to prove to the veterans that they could do the job, and boy did they. They came up against the I should have been prepared. Mississippi Regiment, I think. Basically, like, two of the largest regiments at Gettysburg. They had like the 24th Michigan and I want to say it's a Mississippi Regiment from Archer's Brigade. They basically had a bust up on day one, and 24th Michigan I think suffered something like 500 casualties for the fighting, where they were holding the line on day one. When First Corps, obviously when it starts to crumble under the weight of Heath's division, sort of north of North Gettysburg. I might update the title of the... I probably can't now, can I? Yeah, well. Maybe I can. I'll update the title of the stream and just put the Iron Brigade. So, painting method wise for these is similar to my painting videos, if you've seen them. Something I've changed actually. So, I did a video. Again, these are something that needs to be abased. So I might do a bit of painting on the Iron Brigade. Oh, you can't really see what I'm doing, can you? Do a bit of painting on the Iron Brigade. And then I'll start working on some basing on the few regiments I've got done, because my Warlord game miniatures I bought, I've been a bit rubbish and not painting recently. But I've painted up the Union Regiment, so they need to be based, and then I want to do a video. I want to do a video on it, so I'm hoping to try get some stuff from Warlord Games. Maybe it'd be nice to get something early so I can do something for the release of any more of that range they're releasing, because there's been some rumours about some officers, which I don't know if they're complete rumours or if there's truth behind it, but I was talking to Lee at Battle Bunker, pretty sure it's Lee at Battle Bunker, and he was just talking about Forgotten Glorious range in general being quite a nice range, and obviously Warlord have the range now, so we've got some nice, potentially a lot for them to release. And funny enough, when I was looking into getting the 14th Brooklyn, buying them, I kept stumbling across a blog post of someone showing off some new sculpts they'd be working on. They look very good, and it was Forgotten Glorious, who obviously I was too late. I missed them as Forgotten Glorious, so I know there's some 14th Brooklyn Forgotten Glorious sculpts kicking around somewhere. So I just don't know how. I'd like to think, because I'm pretty sure John, is it Stannard? I think he's got a soft spot for the American Civil War. The fact that he's bought this range of miniatures as well. So I would like to think he's prepared to release much of the range as he can, especially when they're metal sculpts that they're going to be releasing in resin. You know, it's not like he's forking out on new plastic moulds and stuff. So I really hope we get more from them, because what I've painted up I've really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the firing poses from the new set, new miniatures. That's all I painted up at the moment. I've got the artillery and the Confederates ready to go, but I just want to work through some Union at the moment, where I've been priming blue, my Union. It just makes it like so much quicker to, I say so much quicker to paint, a bit quicker to paint. So at the moment I've got a bit of a lull in like hobby enthusiasm. I don't want to paint some Confederates at the moment, essentially, because I'm going to have to just spend that bit more time painting to try get a bit of like bit more of the rebel colours in, and just not feeling it right now. Whereas the Union, you can, again, you've got as much right to change up the colours as much as you want, but I tend to paint them quite uniform, which just makes it easier. I don't have to think about it as much. I can just chill out and paint and just enjoy the painting of the miniature rather than overthinking the uniforms or burning out, because I've got a lot I want to paint. I've got, like I said, these 2 regiments here. I've got another, I want to say 4 Union regiments on the paint tape, like primed, ready to go, and then I've got 4 Confederate regiments that need painting, as well as 3 artillery pieces for the Confederates, which are the Warlord Games ones. Which the artillery, I don't mind painting next, because I think the artillery you can, I don't know, obviously less miniatures, and from start to finish, just a bit of a quicker process because you're not painting as much. So if you're a bit like, you know, bit burnt out, you don't want to paint 24 or however many miniatures to a regiment. You know, you can paint 5 or 4. In the Warlord Games boxes, they come with 4 figures. So yeah, you could paint 4 figures and a cannon, and you're done. And that's boys on the table, you know. Which I think is what I'm going to do. So, well, once I get the armor, I just want to get, I don't know, as a content creator, like I like to think I am, I've just got a few videos that are just like sat there needing to be released. Like I want to do an update on the Armor Brigade, but it's just purely down to the fact that I haven't got on and painted them. So, whereas, like I said, over half of them are done now, so I need to bite the bullet and get on and get them painted, so I can just do a little show-off video, and then that's the Iron Brigade box ticked. Then the next Union boys are going to be Cutler's Brigade of the 1st Division of 1st Corps, which I've obviously... I think I have all the miniatures for. Because I've got a couple of regiments sat there, which I'd planned to use for Strong Vincent's brigade, because I've got 2 of his regiments, so I was hoping to just do the other 2 regiments for Strong Vincent's, and then that's that brigade done. But I might pinch them for now and use them for the last couple of regiments I need for Cutler's Brigade. And then yeah, that's the 1st Corps, 1st Division done. I've got like loads of... A while ago I sort of road mapped a few of like what commanders and stuff I would need for my 1st Corps project. So I've got... Pretty sure I've got Cutler sorted. I've got him... I've already painted up a Union commander which I can use for Cutler. So I just need a banner, like a flag bearer, which I've got, just needs priming and painting. And then I've got obviously Solomon Meredith, which I do have a sculpt for 3D printing, so I think I'm going to go down that route of 3D printing him. So then yeah, Solomon Meredith, and I've got his flag bearer, and then it'll just be Doubleday. Ooh, is it? Or is it Wadsworth? Ooh, that's a question. So whoever was 1st Division commander, I do have him. I just can't remember if he's painted or not. Is it Wadsworth? Pretty sure it's Wadsworth. And then obviously Reynolds, which I don't have a Reynolds, I don't think. But I think I'm either going to use a generic Perry Miniatures officer for it, or I'm just going to double check and have a look what Studio Astoria have, because they might actually have a Reynolds sculpt, which again I can just print. So yeah. So I think once the regiments are sort of out of the way, then it will be, I don't know, maybe the easier job of just painting some officers and flag bearers. I don't know what people's thoughts are on. I don't know. I feel like, for me, obviously excluding cavalry because that's a whole other beast, but I feel like infantry are just a bit of a slog. So if I just get through that slog first and then reward myself with painting some nice officer bases and maybe an artillery piece here and there, done. Something I haven't actually talked to. So going back to, I've got my Warlord Games stuff I just want to base up. I do actually have a load of cavalry I've worked on. So I bought on eBay a load of, I want to say Renegade, I don't know who they are with, dismounted Union cavalry. So I've actually painted up I think about 4 regiments worth. Obviously because it's an eBay job, there's a lot of troopers and officers, but I don't have any sort of standard bearers or anything, so I've just got to figure that out. So I've painted up about 4 regiments worth of troopers. I've just got, and then a couple of command bases, hit a few more command bases, and then, you know, I'm looking at kind of at least a brigade of Union Cav dismounted. And then, you know, I can kind of play a scenario of day 1 at Gettysburg, which could be interesting. Get Buford's cavalry, maybe Devon's brigade or something like that. That could be fun. And yeah, again, they're like metal sculpts. I was a bit unsure when I bought them because they're like the heads are all a bit big, and I was a bit put off by them. But painting them, they're really enjoyable to paint, so it was nice. But alas, let's get the Iron Brigade done, eh? I'll see how I'm feeling. If I get a bit burnt out painting, I'm not going to be painting for long. But yeah, I'll see how I get on, and then could always jump on getting this basing sorted. So like with my basing, I've obviously hit it with like an underlayer. I can smell like cigarette smoke for some reason. I hit it with an underlayer of like base ready. No, not base ready. It's like AK interactive acrylic sort of basing stuff, like dark earth, which is like a mud. So I've just painted the officers' trousers light blue, and I wanted to leave them dark blue. Oh well. And then once I've done the obviously the dark earth, and which I use as like a base material to then put static grass on and little stones. I'm not entirely sold on my basing methods. I think I could do better, but then I'm like, well, I'm kind of torn between putting too much on the bases and then not enough. So but yeah, I don't know, you can see just painting the trousers for now. Just painting the trousers. Cool. It's one regiment. One regiment's trousers painted. And then yeah, these are nice poses. Just like the double quick. Oh, I'll tell you what I could do. Just realised you're listening to my computer sounds. So it's like a double quick pose, which looks nice. Obviously, these are all 3D printed by myself. Getting like the scales right is the thing I found tricky, because obviously all manufacturers scale differently. I'm trying to scale them to Perry miniatures because I think that's what I've mainly got in my collection. And yeah, it's these come up a little small. So I think if anyone was interested in Studio Historia, you just got to think about you might have to tweak the scaling, which is perfectly easily doable. Like I printed and actually painted some Burdan's sharpshooters. So I printed them a very long time ago, and it just sat on the pile of stuff to get on with. But when I was painting all the cavalry last month, I painted up the Burdan sharpshooters as well. And I think I printed them at about 105%, maybe 110%. I want to say 105%. And they seem slightly bit too big, but also so many different scales of manufacturers. I had this conversation with Lee when I went over there and played a game about a bunker. They had some, I want to say first core, and I always thought first core were quite chunky, and I think they are in comparison to Perry's. However, on the table, it did not matter at all. Like I didn't even think about it. so I'm less worried about that sort of scale difference between manufacturers and stuff like that, because it just doesn't. I spent this whole time trying to, one, learn the rule set, and two, like, play the rule set, that I wasn't sat there looking at individual units thinking, oh, he's a bit big, so. But yeah, hello to everyone watching. I don't know. You want to ask any questions or talk about anything, chuck it in the chat. Otherwise I'm just going to be talking to myself. At the moment, for anyone who's new, we're painting some Iron Brigade. Hey Nick. We're painting Union. So just working on my Iron Brigade. There's a couple of regiments left for the Iron Brigade, which, yeah, just working. And these are like at a double quick pose. So I primed blue and just working on the trousers, just painting the trousers. I'm batch painting 2 regiments, so I do 24 figures a regiment. So I'm just batch painting these 48 miniatures. I'm going to see how I feel, because this is an easy step. It's when you're doing all the... So when my next step is sort of all the black painting bits, which tends to be the hats, the belts, the cartridge boxes, the knapsacks. And that can take a while. I'm not sure I've got the strength for it, to be honest, tonight. So I did think about doing some basing on some other miniatures. So I've got a load of cavalry, I've got a regiment of infantry, I've got an artillery piece, and I've got some sharpshooters that need their bases finished off, and then they're all done for the collection. So yeah, and also I want to show them off and do a video for the channel, so they need doing at some point. But as I've just not got a hell of a lot of hobby time at the moment, so it's not getting much attention. And I'm like I've been saying on the stream. The Iron Brigade's like almost finished, and obviously I did a video on the channel like the Iron Brigade project, and I painted up 3 regiments. 1 regiment just needs its basing finished, so I painted up that, and then it's yeah, it's done essentially. So yeah, I just need to get on and get it done. That's the Iron Brigade done. I don't have to think about it again. Nick said, cool, looks like you have a good paint system for this. Really enjoy when all different YouTubers. Where's my mouse? This small war game, can you do live stream and share? That look great. Thank you very much. Yeah, so this is a new method for me, which is using these sticks. So I've painted all my dismounted cavalry and a regiment of Union infantry like this, which is the first time I've done this painting method. And yeah, it's for batch painting, which is definitely a style I do. Like I batch paint. That's how I paint miniatures. I just get a load, get them all painted to what I think's an alright standard, and then I move on. So this is a great way of doing it, in my opinion. Normally, I always used to have them sort of individually based on pennies, and I'd pick the penny up, paint the trousers on one miniature, put it down, pick the next one up, paint the trousers, put it down. Whereas this, I can kind of do. I've got 5 at a time, so just. And I don't know if it really saves time, and I'm not sure. Maybe it does, but. Just means I can less faffing. Less faffing. But yeah, I quite like the thought of doing sort of some more live streams. Really, I had already planned to do some, and I used to do a good few years back. But a few things have kind of got in the way, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to set it up, the live stream, with some of the streaming software I've got, and I just wasn't sure. And I had a play with it, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and just managed to get it to work as how I wanted it. So yeah, so I would like to live stream a lot more. But obviously that's also dependent on when I actually have time for hobbying, which I don't at the moment. So, but I can live stream the hobby, but then also maybe the live stream gives me an excuse to do the hobby. So it works both ways. And yeah, it's nice to talk to people about the hobby and the American Civil War. When I went down to Battle Bunker HQ with Lee and that lot, it's just nice chatting to someone about the American Civil War, because not many people I know in the hobby, in my little hobby world of local to me, not a lot of them like the American Civil War. No, it's not like they don't like it; they just don't play it. I guess it's maybe more common in America. I'd assume so. So obviously there's a nice community in the UK of it, but just harder to find. You're right. Yeah. I did do that a while ago. I did it especially for the Confederate and stuff, writing down a recipe for painting. But then I've done a video on my YouTube, on the channel, of how I paint. So I've got that to reference now. And also I've painted so many Union soldiers now. I just sort of know off the top of my head. Yeah, everyone is great. I've had some real great community moments, so I need some more water. This is some old water, which is sort of discoloured. Maybe I'll have to go raise it. Yeah, it is a great community, yeah. Oh, hey Jason. Saw you live stream and posted to our page that you were painting out some. Jason, are you who I think? Jason. I can't think if Jason is who I think he is. Are you something to do with Studio Historia? I can never remember. Yeah, funny enough, Jason. Here we go. I am painting some Studio Historia Iron Brigade miniatures. Look at that. What are the chances? I thought I recognised your name. So I am painting up your very own miniatures 3D printed by myself. This is Iron Brigade. So these are the Iron Brigade at double quick poses. And Iron Brigade at marching poses. So yeah. I primed them blue, and I'm just working on the trousers currently. Right, have I got lost here? But yeah, welcome in, Jason. Oh, Nate, you can paint ACW. ACW's interesting. I think it's a great era, a great period for like many different wargamers. You know, I think for it's doable for casual gamers or casual hobbyists, should I say? So someone who doesn't want to get caught up in the button counting and stuff like that. But then also, it's perfect for people that like to get caught up in the button counting, because you've just got, I've always said like before, like you split the war into three sections, sort of early, mid and late. Early war, you got more interesting uniforms. Very early war, you've got lots of interesting uniforms, and then sort of for the Union, mid to late, you tend to have more kind of casual, more standardized uniforms, which are less, you know, you don't have to think so much about it. You can kind of go, okay, blue sack coats, sky blue trousers, you know, kepi hat or black forage cap, and off you go. And unlike with Confederates, you know, you can have some good fun there with sort of lots of different uniforms. Again, very early war, you had these interesting uniforms like at the Battle of Bull Run. And then as the war went on, obviously with supply issues and stuff with the Confederacy, you get kind of again more interesting sort of different types of, so you can just have a bit more fun with it. That's how I think of it. That's what attracted me to American Civil War, was I found the Napoleonic's quite intimidating because of all these fancy uniforms. So the American Civil War, so it's just grey and blue, you know. Obviously, the more I've got into it, I've realised it's not that simple. However, from the outside in, so I noticed many in the US wargaming a lot of the English Civil War, and in the UK many in the American Civil War. Okay, I mean, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe in the UK English Civil War's a bit, you know, we know enough about it, less appealing to, and maybe the same with the Americans with the American Civil War, you know. I imagine the Americans, obviously it's a bit more recent than the English Civil War, so it's probably a bit more fresh in the, when it comes to what they learn about, so maybe it's less interesting to them if it's something they already know about, where they want to wargame a subject they don't know about, and that's why the English Civil War, who knows. Hey, what's it matter? I've always wondered how people make these in an efficient manner. Very good to see your method. Ah, nice, you live next to a Civil War battlefield in North Florida. What Civil War battlefield? I'm not that, yeah, sort of east, far east battlefields and stuff I'm not overly familiar with, like the Florida and the Carolinas and stuff. But yeah, so this is how I'm now painting. This is new to how I paint. I used to paint sort of miniatures a bit more individually, whereas now I've put them on these sort of like sticks. The idea I can just rattle through a batch paint. So I'm currently batch painting 48 miniatures. So yeah, I'll get the rest of my Iron Brigade out in a minute, because these are the last two regiments of the Iron Brigade I want to paint up. Everything else is painted and partly based. And I'll show you, so at the very start I was, Stones River, nice, Very nice. Oh, Jason, sorry, yeah. Oh, Battle of Ulst. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. Can someone break it down phonetically? Ulsti? Ulsti? I've heard someone from the National Battlefield Trust YouTube. They talk about it, and I remember hearing it, thinking, because it's obviously spelt differently. Jason's near Stones River, nice. And yeah, again, I think the sort of like Virginia gets a lot of loving, you know, the battles and battlefields around there, whereas the West and maybe the Trans-Mississippi and the Far East and stuff, maybe not so much loving. Do you have any other projects than the American Civil War, or a project you want to start in the future? Good question, Nick. Yes. So let's try break it down. I've got kind of a big Republican Roman army for ancients and stuff. I've got some some 15mm World War II Americans. I'm working on again, I've not done a lot of hobbying recently, so everything's taken a big back step, but I've got a fantasy army, a couple of fantasy armies. I'm currently like 3D printing my way through sort of an undead Egyptian army. I've got a humongous box of Napoleonic French that are just sat there ready for me to crack open, which I'm excited about. It's just in the mood for American Civil War at the moment, so that's getting the attention. I think with the French, Napoleonic French, I want to have a direction with the project before I start it. So I know I'm going to do some Italian regiments as well to ally with the French. Apart from that, yeah, I just need to think about the way I like to do a project. I like to pick a historical unit and base it off that. So I'm going to have a look at maybe a brigade or a division for the French, and then base it off that. That's my thinking. That's my thinking anyway. I'll get my I'll finish painting these stands, and then I'll get my Iron Brigade. Oh yeah, Jason, whilst you're in here, I'm very excited for the artillery Kickstarter. I've backed it. I'm looking forward to it. Not long before you announced the release, I bought a load of artillery on eBay. Of, I don't know what manufacturer it is actually. So, because originally I kind of based the idea I was just going to use Studio Historia to sort of buff out my artillery requirements. But yeah, I had a cheap deal come up on eBay, which, I mean, I'm going to need artillery anyway, so I'm and so far the Studio Historia stuff looks really good. I like the running up the gun pose, you know, where they're on the wheels shoving the gun forward. That looks really good. That's a nice dynamic pose, which isn't something I've got in my collection at the moment, so that would be nice. Also called Ocean Pond. That's the replying to the Ulsti? Oh, I don't know. Battlefield, yeah, nice. It's definitely, I'm planning. I say I'm planning. It's not going to happen for a very long time. I basically told my wife for my 40th birthday I want to go to Gettysburg. But I was talking to, again, Lee from Battle Bunker, and he was just giving me some recommendations of battlefields to hit. So I think he suggested Bull Run. And I don't know, actually. I don't know what. Maybe Fredericksburg, he mentioned? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I want to hit quite a few. It's the only problem with these batch painting, you just got to be a bit careful, because sometimes you miss. Like, the amount of times I've gone in to do, like, say, the next layer, and then realise I've missed a whole trouser leg, or pants leg, as the Americans like to call it. Yeah, I missed a whole trouser leg or something, you know. Get the paint back out. Oh yeah, I remember I was talking about my painting method, about how obviously I've got the video on my YouTube showing how I paint stuff. I've actually changed it slightly, and that was for the Studio Historia sculpts actually, because I was worried about the faces not popping enough. So I use like a skin colour, and then I wash it with sort of a flesh wash. And I just wasn't sure if that was going to show as much on these sculpts, because some of the models I thought the faces weren't as pronounced, which they've worked out they are. So, but I decided to go over and highlight the skin, which I don't normally do, which is something I should do anyway. However, recently again, I've now, instead of going for like a flesh wash, gone for an agrax, so like a brown wash, and then hit the skin, which just looks even better. So it just makes the faces pop a bit more, which is nice. And yeah, so but that's what I like about these Iron Brigade. I think I said when I first got these Studio Historia sculpts, I really like the double quick pose, which is this pose here, which is then like, you know, at double quick. I really like that pose because it just looks really dynamic. You know, that they're showing off camera like an idiot. They're really yeah, it just looks really dynamic. But you can get them in metal, and that's sort of about it. And I'm like, you know, metal's expensive, so it's nice that I've got that now. Right, so what I think, I'll show you my current Iron Brigade. I'm going to show you my current Iron Brigade. What I have for them anyway. So this is my Confederates from Warlord Games. But they can go there further away because they're... Oh no, wrong box. This is all my recently painted stuff, which is everything I need to be base, or I need to base, should I say. So I was saying at the start of the stream how these flags were they're sat in my loft, which is obviously a loft. It's got a roof on it, and they've been like sun bleached somehow, which is just really strange. So these are my Iron Brigade, which are all sculpts from Studio Historia. So with the Iron Brigade, apart from 2 regiments which are marching with backpacks, they're all in different kind of poses. I'll tell you what, these... I did a nicer job than I remembered on these. And now I've got a spare general guy who is not a... Oh, he is a sculpt. So that's Robert Gould Shaw. Right, I'm going to show you because... Why not? Whoa. Oh. Come on, zoom. Why aren't you zooming in? Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Don't know if it shows very well. These are like, they're all just... Is that going to be any better? No. These are, they're all just sun bleached, so all the yellow's gone. So, yeah, it's a shame. But anyway. You're not really going to be able to see much, to be honest. Let me try line them up in a certain way that you'll be able to see. So we've got a firing line, which are up here. We've got a firing line regiment, which I think is nice. The firing poses are great from this range, just because they've done sort of a pose for each firing, like, so what was it, like a 13-step thing? Oh yeah, so you mentioned skirmish basing, yes. So I've done sort of designated skirmishes, which are 3 men to a base rather than 4 men to a base. So this is just firing line poses. For who are these guys? I want to say they're the 6th. They are the 6th Wisconsin. I think I chose them because I think it's the 6th that were at Bull Run and stuff, and they were like one of the longest serving. I don't know. Don't know what I'm trying to say. So that's firing line poses. Which these just apps, yeah, really nice sculpts. Really enjoyed them. Really enjoyed painting them. They were finicky, but really nice that you've got so much variation in sort of poses. Like this chap here is nice. He's like biting off a cartridge and loading 9 times. Thank you, Jason. So you've basically got at least 9 poses for firing. So you're doing a 24-man regiment with, so let's just say straight up, you've got maybe duplicates, 2 duplicates if that. And you just got so much option, which is nice. So yeah, going back to this, so I've got a firing regiment, and then I did just some skirmish bases. I just got a few extras. This is, oh, 2nd Wisconsin. There you go. Oh, 2nd Wisconsin. Why have they got the 6th Wisconsin flag then? Oh, I don't know. That's the 6th Wisconsin. That's the 7th. I don't know. Yeah, so skirmishers. I just went for skirmish bases, yeah, just because I can, have in a game I can use skirmishers. I think as designated skirmishers, I'm going to put them on in groups of 3. For my dismounted cavalry, I'm putting them on 2 on a base, which and my Burdan's sharpshooters are 2 on a base. But these, I think, yeah, just makes them, they're different to line infantry, but still packed up enough, I think. And yeah, I like them. So yeah, that's the firing line poses, and then I'll only show one regiment. This is I think that's Robert Gould Shaw from Studio Historia, which he's standing in for Solomon Meredith because I haven't printed off Solomon Meredith yet. And then yeah, this is what I really liked, which are these marching poses from, yeah, they've got these backpacks on, which just look great. I just love the backpacks. I just can't help myself. I really like the backpacks. Which, yeah, so just got these marching poses, which the 6th and the 7th Wisconsin are marching poses. Let's put it on here. And then, yeah, then obviously I've got so these are sort of, yeah, I don't know how, yeah, they are marching poses with backpacks, and then obviously I've got double quick, but these chaps need their bases finished. which is the only thing. But we'll get around to it. But yeah, it's rather annoyingly the flags got discoloured, so I just need to try sort that out. But yeah, that's my Iron Brigade. There we go. Which, yeah, it'd be nice to get these on the table actually. So again, another reason to just get on and get them done. It's just me being slow. But again, my hobby in general has been taking a hit where I've just not been hobbying much. So Solomon Meredith will be joining the brigade. Obviously, I've slowly working my way through the Iron Brigade, and then I've got Cutler's Brigade to do, and then that's 1st Division from 1st Corps at Gettysburg finished. So yeah, but for the meantime, yeah, and then I might as well show you some dismounted. What else I've been working on, which is these are the firing poses from Warlord Games, their Forgotten Glory range, which are nice. They're really nice poses. I enjoyed them. Some of them have got backpacks as well, which is nice. There you go. Some Burdan sharpshooters from Studio Historia. So I've actually done these chaps. I tried to change up their uniforms a bit. So I can't remember where I heard it, but obviously these guys wear green. But as the war went on, you know, uniforms wore out and stuff, and it's not uncommon to see them sort of in more regulation stuff. So sort of a few of them I've done sort of sky blue pants, trousers, and then one of them I've actually given them a blue like frock coat rather than the green. Just because I think as their kit wears out, they'll just, if they're campaigning or something, they'll just get what they can. And these were very enjoyable to paint as well. Nice paint, nice sculpts. I'm going to print off some more because I've just got 5 bases worth at the moment. One thing I did have to do on this officer, I snapped off his sword by accident, and it pinged and went, and I lost it. So I ended up I had a spare Perry sword, so I just glued it on. But that's a nice pose as well, this chappie here. You can't really see him. He's behind the officer, but he's like led down. So the officer's barking orders and he's there reloading. So, yeah, they're nice. Nice poses. Nice. I should do the guy in the tree. Yeah, yeah, I should. You're right. Maybe that's something. Well, these guys I just printed off as a test for scaling. So yeah, I need to print off more really. I think I'll do another regiment sort of thing. That's my thought anyway. But yeah. And hey Nick, sorry, I got caught up on my computer a minute. How are you, mate? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm meant to be painting, but I'm just showing off my stuff. And then yeah, I've got a load of dismounted cavalry at the front. So this is my sort of 2 cavalry to a base. Again, skirmishers. You know, they're not formed up. And I was because these quite big poses, these quite big figures. I thought it'd be a bit cramped with 3 on a base. So I had two thoughts really. With if I put 2 on a base, I can stretch out what I've got, and get more regiments out of it, and then it's just not looking a bit too busy. But yeah, as for the sharpshooter in the tree, I will do. I wonder if I can try. It'd be cool doing like making him a Confederate or something like that, because then he can be the guy who shot Reynolds. Right. Oh, this is the next bit, which I'm not sure I'm gonna. I'm not sure I'm gonna carry on painting these chaps tonight, just because the next step is a pain, which is black, going in the black colour. Because what I'm going to do is do the boots, the hats, the belts, and all that, and it just takes such a long time. I don't think I have the strength in me, if I'm perfectly honest. So I might just do some basing, finish off some basing, and then I can crack back on with these when I've... That's the thing, I started hobbying a bit late. I would have liked to get on here a bit earlier and given myself a bit more time. Yeah, I know it all comes together once you get going, but I just haven't got the strength tonight. What have you been working on, Nick? Anything interesting? British Legion, that is. We've got 2 Nicks now, which make it confusing. So, I think as we're talking Iron Brigade, let's just finish the basing on the Iron Brigade. Good old PVA. I've got to remember how I do this now. Do I put the stones on first, or I've got to find all my base materials because I put them somewhere. 40k orcs, nice. I don't know what I've got my headset on, to be honest. Been wearing that all day, or all stream, and there's no point. Right, this is something I need to do, because I've got... I need to mix that. I need the specialist base making tray. Here we go. Ah, nice. So, what orc stuff have you got? Vehicles, or is it just infantry? I always like the orc vehicles. I feel like you can have a bit of fun with them. Get to see my very complicated way of basing miniatures. Oh, I've broken one. You've got a casualty. I have to glue back on. What are that? Right. I best do that first before. Children's glue. Combat patrol box. Oh, I'm not sure what's in there, mate. I'm not clued up on 40k, I'm afraid. But that's what I'm guessing. That's a good. The combat patrol's like 600, 700 points worth. They're like a mini army's worth, right? A mate of mine's actually just flogging a orc army. Right, you sit there and glue a minute. I could Google the... Oh, I can't really. I mean, PVA is probably the safest glue for children, right? Better than super glue. I don't know why this regiment of Iron Brigade has been sat in the box for, let's just say 6 months, I don't know. Not based. I don't know why I never just finished it. That's like anything though, isn't it? For some reason you put it down one day and then don't visit it for a few months. Cool. Also, having that game with Lee at Battle Bunker, it's just really given me the urge to get on and get the army sorted. I want to play some more games, definitely, and I had a really good time at Battle Bunker. So I want to obviously I've got to rebase my Union army, which is a pain. I rebased a good few regiments ready for the game at Battle Bunker, but I've still got a fair few that needs rebasing, which it's not much work, it's just time consuming, cutting them off the base, putting them on the new base. It's just time consuming. But it's that sort of, I don't overly mind it because there's not much hard work to it, it's just time consuming. So if you just want to chill out for a hobby night, you can just do that. Plug away at changing bases. Right, so I'm going to go in with my stones. I don't know where I got my stones from. I think I got them from like Hobbycraft or something like that. Or maybe even my local gaming store, Bristol Independent Gaming. I might have got them there once. And then, I don't know, I think I've swapped. So I've got two different type of grass types. And I think I've swapped halfway through. So some of them have got this like darker grass. And some of them have got this lighter grass. So, I don't know, I think I'm going to mix it. And we've got a bit of both then. It's just a sort of a dark light grass. And again, like with my old basing method, I used to actually try use a static grass applicator. Now, I just chuck it on. I think when you're using 2 mil static grass, it's harder for it not to stand up because it's so small. So I reckon anyway. I don't know. I need the hitting stick, wherever that's gone. This is my specialist basing tool. What do you do? There. Just like that. If we put them, where can we put them there? There you go. Just like that. It's done. Could it be a lot better basing? Yeah. Am I more than happy with it? Yeah. That's the thing, I see a lot of people where they use a lot of sort of flock and flowers and stuff, and yeah, I think the flowers look great, but let's talk about, like, say Pickett's Charge, for example. You know, they're not walking through flower beds. They're just through boring grass. So yeah. Oh no, just broken them again. There you go. Right, we'll come back to it. That's the one I repaired and I've just broken it again. I need to look at different resins. I'm just not... This resin I got seems a bit brittle. Right, we'll have to come back to him, let him set for a bit. Just do this. Good game, it's great fun. I notice Wargaming is so much bigger in the UK. You guys have those Wargaming clubs, you hang out, have a good game. Like, going down the pub. Here I'm at. It's unfortunate, mate. I get what you're saying. I'm kind of lucky I'm down the road from a gaming club. I know different parts of the UK is probably a bit more remote to get a game in, but yeah, Wargaming definitely has a following in the UK. You know, you think a lot of the big games are potentially founded here. You know, you think like Games Workshop, for example, which I think's done a lot for wargaming, even if their modern practices are a bit different. And yeah, like, I mean, if you get the chance to visit Nottingham, you've got so much up there. I went there once, and you know, went to Warhammer World, went to Warlord Games and all that, and yeah, they've got a lot going on. Right, let's check these. Right, I'm running out of space to put stuff. Right, you guys just sit there. Do this artillery piece next. We got a lot that needs basing, but it's just nice once it's. So I've kind of, you know, left the basing, a load of basing units to just do at the same time, because you can kind of rattle through it, and then once it's done, that's a load of units done. That's the good thing with batch painting, in my opinion. Like, it can be painful to do and take ages, and if you're not careful, you burn yourself out. However, the end result is spot on. You know, it's just, oh, I've suddenly got a brigade done, or you know, a regiment. Especially when you're playing big games, isn't it? It's Ah, nice. You come to the UK. Nice one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about wargaming shows. I've done Salute once and I enjoyed it. I don't know. There's obviously a lot out there as well. There's some other great shows. Um, I don't know. Nick at British Legion might have a better knowledge of shows than me, but yeah, nice one. If you get the opportunity to go to Nottingham, you've got kind of quite a few big. I don't know if you're into Warhammer or anything like that, but you got like Warhammer World, and then you got the Warlord game store, sort of up the road, as well as there was another store. Was it Firestorm? As well, it was like on the same industrial estate as Warlord games. Hadrian's Wall, nice. Yeah, I've never been. I live here, but I've never been near Hadrian's Wall, which is sad, I guess. I think that's the curse of being British, isn't it? You know, we've actually got a lot to see in our country, but we don't actually get around. Well, I say we. I'm talking like, you know, I don't get around. I'm sure there's tons of British people that do get around, make the most of it. I have a friend who trace over. Oh, what's his YouTube channel name's completely slipped my mind. But I remember Trace was on about coming to the UK, and he was saying about like certain stuff, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna visit Aberdeen and then head to London, and I'm like, oh, it's a lot of travelling. But then to some Americans, travelling ain't much at all. So fair play. Perry's, yeah, nice. I don't know how it works at the Perry's, because they don't have a physical store, do they? I don't think. They just have an incredible gaming emporium. That'd be amazing being invited there. I know the boys at Plastic Crack Podcast. Did they get invited up there? I want to say they did. Like, that's a cool experience, must admit. And I want to say Stu at Miniature Realms got invited as well. Let's go. I could be wrong on that one, but right. Again, being lucky, like being in the community in the UK. I got a couple of people I bumped into at Bristol Independent Gaming, and then, like, you know, it turns out they write for War Games Illustrated, or, you know, they've written a popular rule set, and you're like, oh, I didn't. Small world. Oh, the Vasa warship. What era is that? Is that like fairly recent, or how old a boat are we talking? You stay there. Oh yeah, earlier on I was talking in the stream about these flags I've bought and how I can't shape them because they're really stiff. So they've just basically gone flat. I can mess around with them and make them better. Not this flag's lost. I either screw this flag up or I just leave it flat, which I think I'll just leave it flat. It's fine. From the 60s. 1525. Very old boat. It sank just from pulling out from harbour. Why? Oh. Let's drop that. How did it sink? Well, why did it sink? Jason, yes. Did I print the? Not the Union ones. I had the Confederate ones printed out. I actually got a company to print them. Sure. Yeah, because I didn't have a very good printer. I just paid a company to print off the Confederate ones. So, but no, I didn't do the Union ones. Maybe I just need to go back and revisit. I didn't realise the Iron Brigade was on there, if I'm perfectly honest. But I might have to revisit it. So these flags here are actually a Pennsylvania regiment flags. The Iron Brigade ones, I bought them all from Flags of War. But yeah, they discoloured, which was a shame. So might have to look at them. Might have to look at those ones. Yeah, I might have to look at that flag sheet. Actually, I completely forgot about it. Just because I've just forked out for a load of flags. I could have used them. I've actually bought some flags. I'll show you in a sec. They're on eBay. It's from War Games Design. Oh, I can't. I'll have to find out what they're called. And they're just sort of like generic Union flags. I've just kind of got them as a bit of a backup because G&B and Flags of War don't have every regiment and individual regiment, you know. And if you just need a flag, and with a little bit of research, you can kind of roughly find out what stars and bars they have and. Right, that one done. Here's. So I just want to get on this. Put these stones down before this glue goes a bit. It was built in 1625, sank 28. It sank because it's built wrong. Too heavy on the guns, too high. Oh, yeah, this rings a bell. Yeah, this rings a bell. Yeah, it was too top heavy. Yeah. I'm guessing it's kind of. Is it in cold water as well? Because that helps with preservation, doesn't it? If it's in like real cold waters. Maybe that's just water in general. I was thinking that with the Endurance. Is it the Endurance, which is Shackleton's ship? They found that, and that was pretty preserved. Because Nick, you said you're in Sweden, right? Or have I just made that up? Pretty sure that's what I saw. I want to keep going, but also conscious of the time. But that's my Warlord Games miniatures base now. Bingo. That's something. Oh, actually, Jason, if you're about, still, not, I mean, you've seen tons of it, I'm sure, but something I've printed off. So these are on the soon to be painted. These are my Confederates, and these are Studio Historia sculpts. Marching poses, some with backpacks, some without. That's 4 regiments worth. They're going to be once I've done a load of Union painting, they'll be next. Funny part is, if they'd removed one part at the top, it would have been like the warships from the Napoleonic War, but no, they missed that one. But I mean, they learnt a lesson that day, didn't they? So they learnt a lesson that day. How not to build shit. Oh. Problem is, I haven't got much table space, so I put all these on here, and then I can't. Whilst they're drying, I need somewhere to put them. I'm constantly like moving between tubs. Because once these are dry, I kind of tap them off then and get any excess flock off. I say flock, static grass, whatever you want to call it. Some people call it flock. Some people call flock. Because that's what it is. Right. Do I have another? Let's do the Burdans sharpshooters. These are really nice sculpts, actually. Going back to Studio Historia, just because they've got these like nice gaiters sculpted. You just get to pick them out. They're enjoyable to paint. They're enjoyable to paint. Might be a little bit too much. Cool. Right. That's something I need to work about, actually, with these 3D printed stuff. How I fix it to the wooden, like, hobby sticks. So I'm not careful, I end up snapping the feet off trying to get them off again when I go to put them on the things. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I just glue them back together, but try and try my hardest not to break the miniatures. Maybe I need to look at better resin as well. I've had no problem with these resin. Maybe there's a bit more of a durable resin that's not going to snap. It's just quite fragile, this resin. Blue tack, yeah. I'm just not sure blue tack will hold it strong enough. You know, I'm pretty rough when it comes to painting. What I just do like a little. I'm using. Alligator Standard. It's only because a friend recommended it to me, so I bought it, and yeah, I don't think I've. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really got an issue, but yeah, I feel like sometimes it's can be a bit fragile. For example, I dropped one of these bases on the table like that and accidentally broke one of them. Got the leg off one of the miniatures. But that's the funny thing as well. Like the bayonets on the Studio Historia sculpts, I haven't broken one yet, which is what I thought would break really easy, and yet I'm always snapping the ankles on these guys. Don't know, weird. Maybe I'm just really heavy-handed. Who knows? There we go. Another unit's about to be finished. Soraya Blue. What's that then? Is that like a sort of an additive you can add to the resin then? I've never heard of it. Yeah, I mean, if I find all these miniatures start breaking, then yeah, I might look down that route. Obviously for future miniatures, not these already printed ones. But. You happy with the Kickstarter at the moment, Jason? You seem to knock the ball out of the park with it. Oh man, these sharpshooters look very nice. And there, you can kind of see them. Yeah. If I put this over here then. Yeah, I probably need to do it because there was what 2 or 3 sharpshooter regiments, probably more. Yeah, I think it's I think the artillery campaign's doing good. I noticed, I think on the last campaign, you kind of have like fluctuations on when people buy in. You know, tends to be hit off quite early, and then I don't know. I think I noticed it seemed to pick back up again nearing the end, but maybe that's yeah. So yeah, hopefully it's going well at the moment. Get this done without breaking this guy off again. Have you got any more plans for a Zouave sculpt, Jason? That'd be nice to see. They're always a bit of fun, Zouaves, aren't they? Ooh. Well, I mean, the poses you've done for the artillery look lovely. So, I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. To getting some printed off the artillery. They look great. Right, have I got any other? Just the cav. Yeah, we'll do some cav, right? I wonder if I edit this. Oh, there we go. My camera. There we go. My camera was like out of zoom for some reason, and I don't know why I hadn't set it up properly. There we go. Talk to Raphael about doing them as an add-on for this campaign. Oh, very nice. That would be very cool. Is he convinced? Have you convinced him to do it? I know you. I remember seeing the sculpt on the. Was it the? Well, it was the first one you did. It was the Union, wasn't it? Yeah. The Union campaign. They were stretch goal, weren't they? Right, let's try rattle through some of this, and then I'm gonna end the stream. And we'll pick it back up another day. Oh, he's trying to convince you. Well, I think it's a great idea. Zouaves have a special place, I think, in my heart. Obviously, I think I saw... Yeah, obviously as a stretch goal, I saw a pose or two, but I don't know how many poses you've got sort of sculpted or planned, but I guess there's quite a varied... You got the more traditional baggy pants, fez, turban, fez, Zouaves, but then you do have a few special units, like the 14th Brooklyn, for example, so not a hard sell. Good. That's good. It'd be nice to see him. Yeah, I kind of in my collection I've hit most of the more well-known Zouave units already. I haven't done... There's a Confederate unit I need to do. Is it Copin Zouaves? I need to do them. I was thinking, like, a lot of the Zouave units are quite similar. Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of the Zouave uniforms were... Yeah. You have different, like, braid patterns and quite a few similar colour schemes, but still, like, yeah, different braid patterns. But, yeah, I mean, you compare them to sort of Perry miniatures, I mean, they've done one style, haven't they? And that works fine. Well, it works fine for me. Ah, hey Landsknecht. How are you? Welcome. The two patterns for the test model was nice. What was that? Was that sort of fez and turban? Oh, okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, you got like the 76th Pennsylvania, 75th New York. Obviously the 5th. Is it 5th New York, which is Jury's or else? Nice. The Zouaves are just great. Like I said, you can kind of get away with having like one sort of pattern. Because, like, I find I've gone for like Perry miniatures Zouaves, and then a lot of them more of just difference in uniform colours than anything. You went on the artillery early bird, yeah, same here. Landsknecht, it's good, isn't it? I really like the well, I mean, there's that one picture on the campaign which shows like what 10 different loading like crew. So straight away, if you wanted variation, you're going to have like 10 different artillery poses, which is great. I hope we get the sharing, the social goal, stretch goal. I've shared it where I can. The 5th and 10th New York, yeah, nice. Wait, is the 10th the... Isn't the 10th Fire Zouaves? Or was that the 11th? Wish I knew. Oh no, yeah, no, sorry. You're right. They are known as the McChesney Zouaves. Nice. There's a post. What? I don't want that there. Yeah, it'd be nice to get the stretch goals, the social ones. Honestly, I've shared it where I can. I like to think there's yeah, the artillery's a really good campaign. I think you can. Yeah, I'm hoping there's a lot of interest for it. Right. What time is it? Oh, 10 to. Okay. Let's do a few more cavalry. And then I'm going to go, I think. One, two. Let's do these 4. Yeah, I know, it's a shame. I don't know why. Yeah, the last few sort of hit about 150 to 200, didn't they? Social shares, but again, like, you might find people where, you know, in the last week or so it will pick back up again. Another thing I'm looking forward to actually is the horse limbers. They look great. They look really good. Your family were in the Hawkins Zouaves. Nice. I don't know if I've modelled the Hawkins Zouaves yet. I need to go through my Zouaves. I can't remember what I've done. I don't think I have actually. Yeah, a while ago I had like 4 regiments worth of Zouaves that I bought when Carl Merritt was selling off his collection. So I had like loads of. So I just picked a few of the nice, like more interesting coloured Zouaves, like, you know, coloured uniforms, and painted them. And when I did a game at Battle Bunker, I got 2 or 3 of them out on the table. I wasn't commanding them, unfortunately. It was, I think, Jamie at Battle Bunker, but yeah, still nice to see on the table. Zouave's just that fun unit, really, you know. Just adds a bit of colour to your table. And they almost just don't. They just seem out of place, don't they, with the American Civil War? You can imagine someone who's never or doesn't know the period very well rocking up to a game and you got these sort of French African themed units. Be very out of place. I don't know if, yeah, it'd be quite fun to do like an artillery unit as a Zouave unit. I assume there wasn't any, but that'd be quite cool. Yeah, okay. Hawkins Zouaves being in all blue. Yeah, okay. I need to. Oh, where's it going to say? What did you say the Hawkins Zouaves were again? The 9th New York. Let me see what I've done. I should have on my phone of my units. Yeah, so I've done 5th New York, 146th New York, 76 Pennsylvania, and the 74th New York. Wow, that's it then. I'll do Hawkins Zouaves next. So I need to get my hands on some Studio Historia Zouave files. Get them on the campaign and I can pick them up. What I really need to do is more Confederates with the... Like I said, I've got 4 regiments printed off from Studio Historia, so I think I'm going to... Or Sundered Union, it'd be easier to say that because that's your range. And yeah, I'm going to have a couple of regiments of Union printed off at some point. I think I want to get through what Union I've got currently, then get through Confederates, and then it'll be Union next again. Doing it in waves. But I think it's probably going to focus on some artillery soon. Right, that's it. That's all I'm going to do tonight. I'm done. I am done. But got a lot done. Got a bit of paint on the. Got a bit of paint on the Iron Brigade, what's left of it, and based a load of infantry. So that was good. Success. I've done something at least. I'm happy with that. And if I can get these Iron Brigade done soon, then I'll do a video on it. I don't really want that. Yeah, I'll do a video of it showing off the Iron Brigade. So nice. I'm going to end it there, everybody. So thank you so much for everyone who stopped by for the stream. I really appreciate it. Jason, thanks. Both Nicks, Lanchneck, and What's It Matter as well. Thank you very much. I'd like to see more variation of the Confederate kit, bedrolls, and the on the shoulder, backpacks, etc. Are you on about Studio Historia? I think they've got a nice selection of the backpacks and stuff, but I mean, yeah. Right, but I'll get caught in conversation otherwise. So I'm gonna go. But thank you very much, everybody. I'm gonna try to do another stream again. I enjoyed this one, and yeah, I'll catch you all again next time.